What's going on, dudes and dude Ed? So yeah, this is pretty much the start of one of the first of two big weekends in June for USC and their football recruiting that I've been mentioning the past couple of months. I know guys like Julian, the top quarterback, also the top linebacker, Mikhail, Dorian Brew was a late add. I think Malik Autry, Riley Pettijohn, a lot of great guys coming in this weekend and a couple weekends from now too, so they're called like the June Big Bash. So hopefully we'll get a bunch of commitments out of these weekends like USC did last year, because a lot of guys have been talking good about the last week's visit, but there was no commitments throughout this last week. So hopefully maybe once they see some of the guys after these next couple of weeks commit, then maybe those other guys will also follow. So have to wait and see, but yeah, big time busy weekend for the USC recruiting staff. And then speaking of that four-star linebacker, Mikhail, it looks like he is down to a final 3 with his schools, with USC being one of them. So it's pretty obvious that that's the case. I think that news came out prior to what I was talking about, but yeah, either way, USC is still in the running for one of the top 4-star linebackers still out there. I did want to mention there was a picture, I don't think I put it up, I'll put it up now, where it was the quarterback Julian while he's there visiting, I think just the other day or maybe just today, and he's wearing a weird shirt. And once I finally caught what he was wearing, it looks like it's the Anakin shirt from Star Wars, but it looks like when he turns in to Darth Vader around that time. So I don't know if he's sending some crazy mixed signals that he's gonna pull an Anakin and switch sides and switch schools to somewhere else that he's not committed to, which he is committed to USC as of right now. But with millennials and kids nowadays, you're gonna have to read between the lines. They don't tell you things exactly, so maybe that's the case, but I guess we'll put that down in history right now. We'll note that just in case. Then that 4-star local linebacker, Madden Emu from San Diego, looks like USC is still a strong option for him, even though when he released his official visits pretty recently, I don't think USC was one of the schools, even though they are one of his 4 final teams. Maybe he's just looking to see which weekend he was available to come in, whether it's June or July. I think he could take his official visit anytime in his senior year. So hoping for the best with trying to get some of the more top local guys, especially on that linebacker side. Speaking of a couple of guys who either canceled or are rescheduling their visits this weekend, who were supposed to be there, a couple of 4-star guys. I think the 4-star wide receiver, Javon Buggs, looks like he's officially canceling his visit to USC, and I think he just saw the writing on the wall that they're going after a lot more talented guys. CJ Wiley, last week the 4-star receiver, and even I think Andrew Marsh is there this weekend, the 4-star receiver as well. Maybe USC has been going after those guys a bit more than him, so he saw it, so he's deciding not to come anymore. Then the local Corona Centennial product, who's pretty close to me, said he's not going to be coming this weekend to USC, but it looks like he's trying to reschedule to go at some point. I don't know if that means that, because like I mentioned, Dorian Brew, who is a 4-star cornerback, was a late add to this weekend, and I guess he is ranked higher than Zamorano from Centennial, so maybe he's kind of seeing it too, that they're looking to go in a different direction, but he is the one that said he was going to reschedule, so hopefully will be in the next couple of weeks or so looking forward to that. And the 2026 quarterback, Ryder Lyons from Northern California, I forget if he did commit to USC or not, but it always just seems like he is committed and already going to be coming to USC in what we thought was going to be in 2026, but it looks like he will be taking a 2-year mission out of high school for, I believe, his religion. I think he's from the Mormon religion, so I think even his older brother, who was a tight end commit to USC, is just barely showing up to USC after he graduated high school about a year and a half ago or something like that. So I think he said he's going to be an early enrollee in the 2027 class, so maybe that 2-year mission is not a 2-year mission, but either way, it still looks like USC still has a chance to get him, and maybe they can add another talented guy in that process, because he will technically be skipping a year. That is Lions, so maybe that affects future prospects from wanting to come to USC, but maybe another 2026 guy will come instead, because he will be technically a year ahead a Rider Lion. So we'll see how that shapes out. It's going to be pretty interesting. And then when it came to a lot of the guys that came last weekend, like the 5-star safety, Jonah Williams, 5-star other safety, Trey McNutt, and as I mentioned before, that 4-star wide receiver, CJ Wiley, really have been talking high about that USC visit. That's why I'm so surprised that none of these guys have committed, but I guess USC wasn't the main top school for a lot of those guys, but they brought them in all together, and it looks like USC is leading the way according to some people in the industry of recruiting. So hopefully they get a couple of these guys, if not all of them. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing how much higher this number 3 overall class can go. And a pretty talented 2025 4-star defensive lineman, Trajan Odom, recently put USC in his top 6 officially. So I know a lot of people have been linking him to maybe pick USC, and a lot of people are saying that they have no chance, but at least they've made the top 6 is what it looks like. So it's looking good so far. And then there was that 4-star offensive tackle, Jackson Lloyd, who a lot of people once again thought USC had no chance, but it looks like he put USC in his top 6 as well. And he's another, their tackles they've been going after are gigantic. I know they already have Elijah Page on the team. He's already like at 6'7", 6'8", but this guy also is 6'7". I forget, like Aaron Dunn, or was it Aaron or Adam Dunn? I think I'm getting those sports names mixed up, but he visited last week, I think, from the state of Utah, and he is like 6'7" as well. So they're definitely trying to get some, not only tall guys, but probably add some more weight so they're more beefy and to be able to handle some of those defensive linemen in the new Big Ten conference. So yeah, looking pretty good if they're able to land a lot of these tall, gigantic dudes on the offensive line. And there was a 2026 4-star athlete, and Hezi Kent. He put USC in his top 10 as well. It looked like from some of the pictures I saw, he was either a tight end or a defensive end. It looked like more tight end and stuff because he looked a little bit thicker than a regular wide receiver. So tight end makes sense. And if he's already tall and athletic and stuff, then they always put those guys on the edge to try to play on the defensive side too to help out their team. So yeah, either way, they made the top 10 for one of the 2026 top guys on the offense is what it looks like. So looks good for them. And then House of Victory did have a couple of signings. Speaking of Elijah Page, the second-year offensive lineman, he has joined up again. And then also the incoming transfer from Florida State, Greedy Vance Jr., also signed with House of Victory too. So congrats to those guys. Obviously ready to make some money off their name. And I guess we'll get the ground rolling with those two right now. And then the Washington guard Wesley Yates III. I believe he is transferring into the USC basketball team. I'll just add in one basketball thing at the end of this because it's most likely just going to have the title of a USC football recruiting update, but I'll add in another sort of USC team recruiting update. And yeah, they did get, I think he's like a redshirt freshman, so he has 4 more years of eligibility left. And I think in his class, when he was coming out of high school, he was ranked in the top 50 as well. So it looks like he's a very talented guy, and Eric Musselman will have his chance to be able to mold him hopefully over the next couple of years. And yeah, it looks like he's a pretty talented dude, so happy for the men's basketball side. It always seems like I think they can't add any more guys, and of course they add another guy for the future, so that's pretty cool for them. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, Pettijohn.